Hey, it's me again. I decided to do another video. I'm going to make some Jamaican jerk pasta tonight. Um, I guess you would probably think that Jamaican jerk and pasta do not go well together, or that it's not traditional, but I honestly think as long as it tastes good, anything goes. So I'm not really one to sticking with traditional things. So it's pretty good. So I think you should try it out, and you can watch how quickly and easily it is for me to make this. Alright, so, and I do apologize in advance for this poor lighting quality. It's dark out right now, so I'm completely relying on this light in my kitchen. And I know it's like a little yellowy color, but that's alright. You can see everything just fine. So, anyways, to get straight to the point, the other day I actually was doing a recipe that called for Jamaican jerk spice, and I went to the store, and they apparently were out of Jamaican jerk spice. Go figure, right? So I invented my own. So I'm gonna use this recipe for the spice that I did the other day to flavor a pasta dish. And the first thing I'm gonna do is take one whole entire onion and just peel it, get it all ready to go, get it ready to be chopped up. You can actually do all of this by hand, everything that I'm about to do here. The only thing is, if you're going to do it by hand, you want to make sure that you chop it up really, really finely. You want to even like mince it until it's almost pureed, because that's the kind of texture you want to go for with this jerk recipe that I invented myself. So I'm using a food processor only because I don't feel like chopping until my arm feels like it's going to fall off right now. So in the food processor, I'm just going to put the onion and let it go for... I'm just going to let it puree here until, like I said, until it's almost like a paste. So it's going along. Alright, it looks good. So the next thing I'm going to add is some thyme. If you don't have fresh thyme, you could use dried thyme, that's fine. But I think that the fresh probably works best. I was actually going to bring the plant over here so I could show it to you, but my mint plant decided to wrap itself all around the thyme, so I can't separate the two. So I'm just going to go over and I'm going to cut some of the thyme off right now, and then I'll bring it back over. So, alright, here we go. If there's any dead pieces, like there are in mine, because I, believe it or not, don't have much of a green thumb. I wish I did, but it's sad to say that I do not. Okay, so use as much time or as little time as you want. I would say that I probably have about, I'm using the stems and everything too. I know normally when you do thyme, what you would do is take one of these strands, and you kind of just hold the strand and then strip the leaves off of the strand like that. Since I'm using a food processor, I'm just going to throw it all in there like this. Even when I use it with a knife, as long as you chop it long enough, you can chop up the stem and everything. I don't see any reason that you should need to go into anything that tedious. So I'm just going to put this in there. Oh, so I would say that this is probably about, I don't know, a quarter cup of fresh thyme if you put it all into a cup. So you're going to put that in there, and then let that go until it's pureed almost to a paste, like the onion. And if there's still a couple, of chunks or pieces in here, like stuck to the sides and stuff, that's okay. We'll take care of that later, once we add the sauce in here. So, alright. That looks good enough. The next thing I'm going to add is some cinnamon, surprisingly. So I would say put about a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Or, I'm sorry. I would say put a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And also, you want to put, sorry, my eyes are really watering right now from this onion, so this is kind of embarrassing. I should have worn goggles or something. And then the other thing you want to add is about a 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So this is going to be really extremely spicy. Alright, I'm not even kidding. I don't know if you can see, but I'm actually crying from this onion. This is ridiculous. Okay, so we put the cayenne pepper in there. Then the next thing we're going to add is some salt. I always grind my own salt only because I think that the taste is much better than the traditional, like the iodized or even uniodized, but that, you know, that just the traditional salt, like the kind, this kind. Everyone knows what this is. I usually use that salt when I do pasta, like to throw into the pasta water. But when I'm actually using it as a flavoring in something, I like to just grind up my own salt because I think that it has a much better flavor. It's a lot less artificial tasting. So the next thing I'm going to do is some black pepper. You actually want to go heavy on the ground black pepper in this. So I'm just going to keep grinding away over here with this. And I think that freshly ground pepper is probably the best because, once again, it obviously has the most flavor. So, sorry, my pepper mill's like falling apart here for some reason. So, okay. After we put those two things in, the next thing we're actually gonna add to this is a can of tomato sauce. And I like to use the I always buy anything that's in a can with no salt added because as you probably know, things in cans for some reason tend to use an absurd amount of salt, and I'm not sure what the reason is for that. But the sodium is always very high in canned things, so I always try to pick things that have no sodium, and then I just add the salt as I need it, because I mean, how hard is it to actually put salt onto something? It's not that big of a deal. So I'm just going to add a can of tomato sauce into here, and then I'm going to turn this on. Okay, so before it's actually officially done, you're going to want to, because remember earlier I had mentioned about if there's some big pieces stuck to the sides, that's fine. You just want to kind of push those down now so that everything gets blended up really nicely in here. So just push everything in, and then just let it close one more time. Oh, one thing I forgot to add. With my jerk spice, I always like to add a little tiny bit of chili powder. So let me just grab that. Okay, so I have my chili powder. And I'm just going to put a little tiny bit in here. Just something to give it a little extra, another layer of flavor. So